Okay, let us move on to next lesson, current electricity 4, right? Let us begin with current density. Symbol is J. It is a vector quantity. Before I explain that, I must explain you how area is a vector quantity. Now, look at this piece of card. Uh, Look at this surface. This area is considered as a vector quantity in physics. Then if it is considered as a vector quantity, then what is its direction? The direction of an area is, if you draw a normal to the area, then that normal gives you the direction of this area. Means this area is pointing this way. If I am holding it like this, then I have to draw a normal. So the normal will be to this side. So this area is pointing to this side. Let me show in a different way. Look at this area. The normal to the area is like this. This normal pointing outward, not inward. The outward normal to the plane, to this area, is the direction of the area, right? So let us go to current density. Symbol is J. What does this mean? This means how much current is associated per unit area of a conductor normally. Look, this is an area. Suppose this area is pointing to this side. Means it is like this, pointing to this side, and the current is also in the same direction. So the direction of current and direction of the area, they are in the same direction. Means the angle between them is 0. Means all these currents are coming out from this area normally. Now what happens if now look at this area. This area, as I have drawn it here, is pointing to this side, this side that is shown here. Pointing to this side is the area vector, and the current is like this, suppose. So these currents, they are not passing normally from the area. Then what I have to do? So if this angle is theta, I take this component of the area vector, that is a cos theta. By doing so, the a cos theta is in the direction of I. Means all these currents coming through a cos theta are normal. So current density J is defined as current by area, and current we know, charge divided by time divided by area. Now, so actually current density J is equal to current coming out from area that is normal to this. Now here a cos theta, that is the component of a in this direction. Here this area vector is in this direction. This component of a, from this component of a, that is a cos theta, then the current is coming out normally from it. So your J is equal to I over a cos theta. Now cross multiplying this with this, we get I is equal to J a cos theta. And we know in vector analysis A dot B, where A and B, two vectors, is defined as A B cos theta. So anything that is written in this form can be written in this form, in vector form. So this J A cos theta is written in this form. Therefore this is equal to J dot A, and dot product is a scalar quantity, therefore current is a scalar quantity, right? Now, so I is equal to J dot A, the dot product of current density and the area vector. Now we know in the previous lessons how current I was related to the drift velocity Vd. I was equal to NEA Vd, where N was the number of electrons per unit volume of the conductor, free electrons, E is the charge of electron, A was the area of cross section of the conductor. And we just explained the current density J is equal to current over area. Means how much current is associated with unit area. With A area, I current is associated. With unit area, current associated is I by A. And if it is coming out normally, then that is called current density. So for I substitute NEA Vd. So A here, So this A cancels, so I am left with NeVd. So your current density J is equal to NeVd. It is a vector quantity. Now what will be unit? The unit is equal to ampere per meter square. How much current per unit area? Now let us go to the next page. Now let ds is a small area of a conductor and J is equal to current density associated with that conductor. So therefore I will be J dot ds integration of that over the whole surface S. So your total current will be the integration of J dot ds, that is the flux of the current density, right? When you take dot product, is nothing but the flux. Now then coming back to conductance of a resistor, conductance of a resistor or a resistance, it is defined as, the symbol for this is G, is defined as the reciprocal of R, means 1 by R. Means if R is more, if resistance of a conductor is more, this is a fraction. If this is more, G is less. If R is less, then 1 by R is more, that is the conductance of the resistor is more. Its unit is 1 by resistance. The unit of resistance is ohm. So 1 by ohm, that is written as ohm inverse. Or you can say, instead of saying the ohm inverse, you can say mho, mho, or Siemen, S-I-E-M-E-N. Then comes electrical conductivity. The symbol for that is sigma. Don't confuse this symbol with electrostatics, where this symbol was used for surface charge density in electrostatics, but not here. So electrical conductivity of a conductor is defined as 1 over rho. We had previously derived R was equal to rho L over A. This was called your specific resistance. The reciprocal of that is called electrical conductivity, sigma, where rho is the specific resistance, and in the last lesson we had derived rho as m over n e square tau, where m is the mass of the electron, n is number of electrons per unit volume, e is the charge of the electron, tau was the average relaxation time, that is the average time an electron spends while traveling in a conductor when it collides with atoms or ions, what average time it spends in n number of collisions. And its unit is equal to ohm inverse meter inverse, or mho meter inverse, or Siemen meter inverse. So from this sigma, which is equal to reciprocal of this. So for rho I put this. So reciprocal of this means n e square tau comes to the numerator and m comes to the denominator. So your sigma is equal to your electrical conductivity. Now if you look at the formula, this depends on n, this depends on relaxation time, E and m being constant for an electron. Now then coming back to, so from here, here sigma is proportional to n and sigma is also proportional to tau. Now what is the meaning of that? Sigma is proportional to n. Sigma is proportional to n. I think this picture was not clear in the video. Let me put it for a few seconds. So now sigma is proportional to n, where n is number of electrons per unit volume of the conductor. So for different material, means for iron n is different, for copper n is different, means it depends on the nature of the material. Now sigma is proportional to tau, because in the expression tau was in the numerator. Now in the last lesson we had studied, if we had derived R was equal to ml over n e square a tau. Means if you hit a conductor, the electrons move faster, so the collision times becomes less, tau decreases, therefore R increases. Now in the expression for sigma, here, the tau is in the numerator, so tau is proportional to sigma. So tau is proportional to sigma, means if tau decreases, and we know tau decreases as temperature increases, because if you increase the temperature, the electrons move faster. So to collide with an ion or atom, it takes less time, that is tau decreases. So if tau decreases, this also decreases. Therefore, sigma is proportional to 1 by T, right, where T is the temperature. Now, relationship between current density, sigma, and electric field. We know in the previous lessons I was equal to NEA VD, number of electrons per unit volume, charge of electron, area of cross section of the conductor, VD was the drift velocity. And we also knew drift velocity was acceleration into time, E capital E over m into tau. Therefore, let us put this value of VD here. So your I becomes NEA for VD. I write this E by m into tau. So this small e gets multiplied with small e, becomes E square. So NE square capital A tau electric field divided by m. Now current density was J was equal to current over area. This is our current divided by area A. So your A cancels. So when you divide this with A cancels both numerator and the denominator. So I am left with NE square tau E over m. Now let us put it in a different form. Capital E, I keep it in the numerator. So NE square tau comes to the denominator. It was multiplied here, so when it comes to the denominator, it's divided. So this is your I over A. So I over A is equal to, now how much is this? This was equal to your rho, specific resistance, which we discussed in the earlier lesson. So E into 1 by rho, and 1 by rho was defined as sigma, so E sigma. So current density is equal to sigma times the electric field. Now relationship between electrical resistivity rho and electron mobility. We know from previous lessons that current was equal to NEA VD, that is current drift velocity relation, number of electrons per unit volume, which depends on the nature of the material, charge of electron, area of cross section of the conductor. This is the drift velocity. Why this was arising? When there was a conductor and it was applied with an electric field, the electrons were drifting to this side with a velocity Vd, that was called drift velocity, and this was derived in your previous lesson. And we also know drift velocity was also equal to mu E, means where mu was the mobility, means by applying E electric field the velocity was Vd. If you apply unit electric field, the velocity will be Vd over E, means drift velocity per unit electric field, that was called your mobility, that was equal to your mu. So cross multiplying, mu E is equal to Vd, drift velocity, where n is the number of electrons, free electrons per unit volume, charge of the electron, area of cross section of the conductor, Vd was the drift velocity, mu is the mobility. Just I explained here. By applying electric field E, the drift velocity was Vd. Instead of applying E, if you apply unit electric field, then the drift velocity will be Vd over E, means drift velocity per unit electric field, that was called mobility, mu. So mu was mobility, E was the electric field. And we have just derived a minutes back that J, current density, was I over A. Now that was equal to your sigma E. Now sigma is 1 over rho into E remains as same, so that is equal to E over rho. Now E by rho, this thing is equal to I by A. I is equal to NEA VD, this, and A is A, so A cancels, so I am left with NEVD, number of electrons per unit volume, charge of electron, drift velocity. So then that is equal to NE mu E, because for VD, from here, drift velocity is equal to mu times C by cross multiplying. So for mu drift velocity, I write mu E. So your 1 by rho, this E cancels with this. So E by rho is equal to this. Now this E cancels. So I am left on this side with 1 by rho. On this side I'm left with NE mu. So your rho is equal to reciprocal of this, that is 1 over NU NE mu, where mu is the mobility, E is the charge of electron, N is number of electrons per unit volume.